Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Shadowhand. Probably against my best interest, I decided to make another recording today. Um, which, yeah, I probably will regret that. Regardless, we did chapter 20 and didn't have any duels, and so now we are going back to Robber's Ruin, which we haven't been to since chapter 2, to meet with this guy who the magistrate is manipulating into working for him. Otherwise, he'd throw him in jail for accidentally killing his love, the magistrate's daughter. Which I wouldn't be surprised if they take a moment to say that actually the magistrate pushed the daughter in front of the bullet, or shot the daughter that hurt himself. So what this is going to basically leave us with is Peregrine, our the person who was stealing money from us, is probably still going to be a bad guy that will duel at the end. This lady, here might show up again and play a role. This guy may be our romance interest, and so he might show up. I don't think we're going to see Captain Dread too much. We might see him and just free him for Mariah, as he seems to be more important to Mariah than really Lady Cornelia Shadowhand. And yeah, what I suspect will happen more than anything is we, like the previous chapter, will be given just incredibly high goals and incredibly difficult goals, and we won't be able to actually finish the chapter and defeat all the goals. And then that'll be the big question, certainly, is when I beat chapter 22, if I don't get all the goals done but just either skip through it on normal mode, will that give me at least the achievement for beating the game on normal? Or do I have to play all of normal mode and get at least 1 star for every normal mode? Probably not. But you probably have to do the final chapter and get all the goals in the final chapter. So I'm hoping those goals are going to be a little bit easier. Otherwise, I may just end up ending this series shrugging my shoulders and going, well, yeah, there's 3 remaining achievements. They're all unlocked by beating the game on certain difficulties, but there really isn't a path in which you get more weapons or more items or anything that would make it more believable that you could reasonably beat very hard mode, because it just doesn't feel like it is tested enough, and it feels like it's more luck based. Yeah, let's continue the story. Turnpike's holed up in there and has clearly told his gang to kill any intruders. I'm gonna have to fight my way to get to him and persuade him to talk to me. Yeah, Mariah gave me this locket of Turnpike's love, lost love, so that we can convince him to fight on our side. First, to get past this man guarding the gates. I wouldn't be surprised if this might be the chapter where we straight up have to fight all 8 sub-chapters. It is a much more reasonable combo of 35 versus 40, which is what we had before, and that if it's like the previous chapter, they basically handed you a combo of 40 anyways. Defeating the chapter boss is always a requirement, or almost always, but then we need 23 stars. So you've got a big problem here. 13 turns, basically, we've got to beat this guy. We still have never figured out what stealth does for anybody. 110 health. He's got a vicious dagger and a stiletto. And then he's got quicksilver potion, antidotes, and strong tea. Whereas I have quicksilver, health elixir, and throwable knife. And I think there is an argument here. Instead of having this passive ability, to have this passive ability. Like this is the item we're supposed to give. Starting with 2, with a minimum of 2 spare cards, makes a lot more sense to me. So duel, and then see you immediately get 2 spare cards, and that tells me also to use all the spare cards at the very beginning of any run. So does he have health? Yes, he does. So just throw this. Wow, resist and defense of such a high number that it only did 2 damage. Yeah, I may be completely doomed here. Like that, there really may not be even a slight chance of success. And yeah, it is unfortunate, but the more we get towards the end of this game, the more I feel like this game isn't polished enough to have that positive feeling. And I feel like Regency Solitaire may have had a little bit of that, but nowhere as much as I feel like I'm having now. Maybe that's because it's been a year or 2 since I played Regency Solitaire and I was just a bit more accepting, but this is frustrating to say the least at the current way this is playing out. 2 would give me a card here, 2 here wouldn't give me anything. 6, 7, 8, 7, 8. These guys are just moving super fast. The stiletto also has poison damage, so he's done a lot of damage to me. Let's go ahead and turn that to something we can play. Seriously? Alright. And just fill his inventory with items. That was a bad turn of events. And see, in this case, we're not even looking for gold, so while we would like gold, it's not going to be a focus. We're just more than likely going to run out of cards. Yeah, I think what I want to do here is give this a try, and then I think really say time saving as a time saving measure. I think I just want to call it impossible. Like, it seems like we are just I was thinking it was going to be more of a mountain peak, where the most difficult chapters would be around chapter 11 of 22, and then they would just get easier and you'd be an increasingly powerful, overpowered character, and you'd be rewarded for sticking with the game. Instead, it really does just feel like they are going to continuously give you too much of a challenge for my taste. So I'm thinking we may try this twice. If it seems just completely unrealistic that we would win, we're gonna just drop down to normal, and I think we'll probably just have to end the beat the game on normal. maybe by beating the game on normal that will give us something as far as an item. But yeah, right now it's not even worth playing any further. And then yeah, we may get the weirdness where all of a sudden a second try on this all changes exactly how it plays. Now it's not really a good time to use the spare cards. I'm not sure these characters ever actually do use spare cards. They take them, but I don't know if I've ever seen them actually use them. I could go spare 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Alright, yeah, spare 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, or 2, and then 1. And we can take this 0, I guess, since we've got nothing else. Yeah. We'd have to kind of just win now. That's the second turn, so we still have some turns. See if we can change that to a 9. Oh no, we can change that to a 1 and play that 0. That doesn't help me any further. Maybe I have the wrong equipment equipped, but I don't think getting a higher defense in something is really gonna change too much. Melee weapon, melee weapon. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't seem like you even have the ability to deflect knives. Or resist, you can resist pierce. Or you could resist clubs and tools, but they don't fall into that category. 5, 4. So he's at like 94, I'm at 50. We're halfway towards those 13 turns. We're more than likely gonna die. And see, the only thing I could think that would change here is if we had grinded through the game, and filled up our spare cards to just use that significant advantage. I really don't think there is better weapons even available for sale or better items that would change the outcome that much. I haven't seen any way to increase your attack or defense significantly. We have 4 more turns. And so we would just have to basically pull off a miracle. And this could get a 9 and an 8. And that's kind of it. Nine, 8. Not sure if I got major combos. I could potentially take him out, but we are dangerously approaching a gameplay requirement of near perfect play. And for very hard, even for very hard, that seems like that's asking too much. Could do 9, 8, 7 with the Joker. Actually, I didn't need to use the Joker, I bet, at all. Yeah. Guess if I got a major combo right now. Notice that our ability doesn't give us 2 spare cards when it redeals in the same subchapter. That wasn't really expected that it would work that way, but it would have been nice if it worked that way. Yeah, and there's just kind of nothing to do here. 2 more turns. Last turn. 5, 4, 3, 2. Joker, 9, 0, 9. 8, 7, 8. 42 damage with him stunned. Probably doesn't win the game for you, but you don't have any other choice. Alright. We're closer, but we're not far enough. I mean, it really isn't worth your time to even go further. If you hit this, you win. Fine. It gives you 2 stars. That's not gonna work, because the requirement is 23 stars. There's only 24, so that gives you no chance whatsoever. And you can see what the loot is. And unless the rest of these were all this kind of gameplay, which they aren't, it's just not worth it. No. It does save your spot. Interesting. I really didn't think it would. I thought if you exited out, you would be doomed forever to have to start all over again. Okay. I want to actually test out what this does, but so I'm gonna play with it, I guess. Alright, so I'm gonna drop down to normal, and we're just gonna play this chapter on normal. We can go ahead and skip that story since we've already seen it. And see, now it is a much more reasonable collect 19 stars, achieve a combo of 25 instead of 35, and defeat the chapter boss. Much more reasonable.
Duel.
Alright. So, yeah, the item I have would tell me what the next card is, which don't think helps you one bit. Yeah. I have a real question there as far as how that could actually help you. So I know I'm going to give him a 6. That means he's going to play the 5-4. So what? can't do anything about it. So having that extra information is just pointless. We know this is going to be either 0 or 9. You can't even really see it because and your little eye effect doesn't show cards that are face down. Yeah, it is completely useless as a feature. It gives you pointless information. Let's see. 3, 2, 3. Yeah, next card will be a 3. Good for him. So he's going to do a major combo on me. Which really only means I could hope to stun him. Which you were already hoping to stun him. So did the game really change at all as far as how you would play? 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 6. Shuffle, I guess. 7, 6, and 5. And then smack them. These guys' defenses seem to be the same, though. Maybe their attacks. No, they still seem like they may be about the same. Maybe they are doing a little bit less base damage on normal mode. Yeah. This really does feel like if these base damages are different or not doesn't even really matter, because we know that the numbers that are manipulated between hard mode, normal mode, and very hard mode are the numbers that are already over manipulated. And there probably should be a hard mode between normal mode and very hard mode, but I can also see a reason why you wouldn't want to have 4 or 5 different difficulties in your solitaire game. Arguably, maybe you only need 2 difficulties. A you can't lose mode, and it will give you a kind of randomized challenge mode. One of the things about solitaire games, proper solitaire games, not whatever this is that we're really playing, is you tend to get a score if you want it, and I could definitely see just the general idea of the gold being your score, and if you get a certain amount of gold at the end of a run, that is your goal and your only goal. This fairly overly complicates things by opening up different potential focuses of your attention, whether you're trying to defeat an opponent, whether you're trying to get a certain amount of gold, whether you're trying to get a score multiplier, whether you're trying to get a combo, whether you're trying to find a specific thing on the floor. It's just very varied, in more than I think most solitaire fans really would want. Where I would heavily suspect solitaire fans are looking for games that don't add a bunch of complicated rules to them, or have very specific scenarios in which things are the game is played differently. The simplicity and, well, relative simplicity of solitaire is the thing that has made solitaire games stay around for a very long time, whereas older games have been forgotten somewhat because they lost popularity amongst common folk. Like, and it's not really a case of whether or not a game is perfected in the sense that is there a way to play the exact perfect move always and win, where there are games definitely like that, and yet people still are totally willing to play those. It is much more simply just a matter of how intriguing people find the games. And at this point, getting extra items is nice and all, but I don't even know if it really serves a larger goal. We kind of rarely use the items. Here we can throw that, and did literally only 2 damage again. I have 2 health. So I have to drink this healing elixir just to have a hope. I don't think I have anything that would help any further. Six, 7, 6. 8, 7, 8. We're not going all the way around again to get these items. Okay. And even on normal, we still ended up only getting 1 star. So that was definitely the right move. And it seems like you get the same kind of loot regardless of what level of difficulty you play on. Alright. Let's go ahead and change that to that, because this is absolutely useless. And I assume at this point there are just not going to be any more abilities. Take one of those. And melee damage increase. It's a nice backup. Then what else would we want? That wouldn't really help anything. 6 clean handkerchiefs. We've never used them before. Smoke bomb. It's not a terrible thought. Might want to use a wig powder instead. Well, you know what? Just use the knives. Because the knives, the grog bombs, those things are all just going to not really play any role in the final fight. They can't possibly actually play a role in the final fight. They're too weak. Joker. So I guess we would hold on to the jokers and play all the other cards if necessary as we're going through these sub-chapters with that ability. And that really would just mean that until we have 2 jokers, we would get at least 1 free spare card. Or we play them all. Alright, so speaking of spare cards, I think it is worth it to do this, then this, then this, 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 and this. Yep. And then I guess we can play this 4. And I could make something match to go 9, 1 here. So 9, 0, 1. Then that can get me back to 0 and this 9. And yeah, I guess we can shuffle now. We now know that the keys, like the gaol door, is in the wrong place. They're bringing it back, I guess, just so we remember that that was a thing that existed in one chapter. 0, 1. That's pretty good. How many combos did we need though? 25? Alright, let's see if we can pull this out all the way then. 6, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got the combo. 8, 9. Unlock this. 0. Blow up all these cards. 1, 0, 9, 8. I guess you go that route. Then I could play a joker here. I could go 6, 5, 4. And that would be about it. Yeah. And that pretty much makes it even less likely I need to waste a joker card. And get me to a full combo 5 times multiplier, but I don't know if I even really need that. Definitely feels like the multiplier meter may fill up a little bit faster in normal mode also. I very well may have had a much better experience with this game had I just played it on normal, which is what I normally do, not to be repetitive, in most games. But I figured I could play a solitaire, and I guess I figured wrong. That even solitaires can be incredibly difficult. Yep. Next, probably another duel. This is hard going. Let me pass. A man's life depends on it. And you just never get any kind of like dialogue back from any of these characters. They don't say anything, which would kind of make sense if they were going to be voice acted as characters, but I think the second you make the decision you're not going to pay for voice acting, you bring back dialogue. And frankly, I think you probably start from the perspective of, if there's going to be voice acting but it's only going to be the main character, that still kind of works in most visual novel depictions of story, where the main character talks and then everybody else just doesn't have a voice, and maybe they make some generic sound effect at most. Chance to stun, and then chance to stun. He's got a knife, a Brute's Brew, and a Brute's Brew. And his name is Spike. Yep.
Duel.
Okay. Here we go. 7, 8, 7, 7. And then 8 here. Then 7. Then 8 here. And I guess we're gonna have to shuffle at this point because we can't do anything more unless we want to try to go for a 9. Which maybe 9 0 1 2 1 2. Take the spare card. I could go 4 or 5 with the spare card, or I could shuffle now. We now know where the lantern is. It's here. Let's see. 1 0. Yeah. And yeah, I don't think any of the spare cards work, so we'll just smack the guy. 8. We could go 7 here, or we can go 9 here. 9 does that much. I could go 4 5 4 3 2. Okay, yeah, 4 5 4, and then 3 2 3. Then I could play a 6 to get one of these 5s, and that would be about it. Yeah, these battles definitely feel easier, like something's doing more damage. Like, even though it says it has a 50% resistance to stun and 50% resistance to clubs and tools, I wonder if maybe that 50% isn't actually 50% as you would normally calculate it. Or maybe it's just a case that these guys are playing worse, and it just makes it easier because of that. It's a little weird that their health is in white text, because that gives you the feeling that it is 54 out of 54 when really it's 54 out of 120. You would expect it to be in a shade of red lettering as far as the font, to show that you've taken some damage, and even green if you were above your max, which we haven't seen any way that you could be above your max at health. He's just ending his turn over and over again because he can't do anything. I could use the spare card, so 6 5 4 5 6 7 6. Okay. Smack him. Now I don't think this is one that reduces the defense of an opponent. Nope. I had a weapon here before that would reduce the defense, and maybe that was the better weapon to play. But this one just does more damage if it's charged, if you get 2 combos in a row, which honestly, if you get a combo, you probably don't need that. So I probably should go back to the previous weapon. Okay. So we could go 9 0 1 0 1 2 1. And then we could play a joker if we wanted to, which wouldn't be terrible. Joker 7 6 5 6 7 7 6 5 6 7. Shuffle. 6 7. There we go. And we just need to defeat the boss and get stars, so as long as we continue to get a decent number of stars, I think we're fine. Getting a little bit of loot's not going to help us much. And it seems like we're going to run into one big version of the cards each time. Which, okay. That doesn't really change anything. It just has you going through big versions of cards. But use a spare here to get to 0. It's kind of risky, but I think you probably do it anyways. Just to see if you can. Then see if we can change this to a 9. Change that to an 8. Change that to a 7. We didn't get a 6. We could go 4, 5, 4 if we wanted to, but it's probably not worth it. 6, 4, 3, 4, 3. Do this 4, do this 2, do this 2, and then do this one. Okay. 0. 9 here, or 9 here. I think you do this 9. And we could play this spare. Didn't particularly help you that much. 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think we've even ever used this item. Just because we haven't had really an opportunity to use it. 1. Let's shuffle. And getting extra items at the moment feels like it's going to have fairly diminishing returns as we're approaching the end of the game. I want to play this now. I could do 3, 4, 3. And we kind of have to clear everything on the field because we want 3 stars. 5, 6. But I think we will probably clear the field. 9, 0, 9. 2, 3. 8, 9. 6, 9. Get that. And we move forward. This is still taking way too long. Oh rats, the beastly bard strikes again. So I guess these are all supposed to just be people we've fought before, although I don't even remember them. Like, vengeance is in my heart, death in my hand. Like, I don't even remember fighting this guy. Okay. There was a gun I had that unblockable fire damage of 14. Let's see, piercing damage, chance to stun, and reduce defense. Yeah, I think that's what we had equipped as far as weapons. And then if there's item or outfit items that I should change, I'm never, I think, even gonna figure that out, so Yeah. And yep. Just kind of goof around and pick some things.
Duel.
I don't know if I used all the stun cards or all the spare cards I could have. But I guess it doesn't matter because that's gonna happen. I guess this was the guy that introduced animals, rats, and things. Guns way faster. We start with this spare card. And then I'm just gonna play this. And I probably will deflect everything they've got. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 5. Then we could go and do a spare of a 7, 7, 8, 7, or 7, 8, 9. Or we could just attack now. And he has this clawed hand plus 12 that does 20 damage and 50% chance to cause bleeding. Let's see. 9, 8, 9, smoke bomb. 0, 9, 0, 1. And I could go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, so that's worth it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And then a 1 won't help us any. But we could try for a shuffle, since we're already here. And then 4, 3 gets us a little bit further. And then we got a 3 to a 2. Yeah, it didn't help that much. Yeah, it feels like 2 or 3 more good hits and I win. Let's see. 7, 6. Fire. Grog bomb him. Since we've got nothing else going on. Right. 0, 9, 0, 1, 0, 1. Or we could have gone. Actually, this 0, then this 9, then take this Joker. Okay. And then if I was to play this 1, I can get this 2. And then this 1. And that moves the combo a little bit further. We needed to do this in 11 turns. We've taken 6 turns. Doesn't seem crazy. Here we go. We go Joker. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 'Play that. Yeah, that should be enough to win. So I assume on normal mode, this is where you would start to feel like, oh yeah, I've really grown and I've gotten way better and stronger compared to where we started this game. But actually on hard mode, I'm just utterly defeated and frustrated on what seems like a very low chance of beating the game in a reasonable amount of time. And I keep phrasing it that way because, yes, I could play a subchapter over and over and over again and spend an hour for each one of the 8 subchapters to get the perfect game and beat the chapter goals. And I may very well have to do that. I may very well have to do that off screen even for the final chapter, but that doesn't feel like something I'd want to do or enjoy doing for sure. And so we have this Venetian mask that would give us 1 finesse attribute extra, which we can look at that as an item. So 1 finesse versus 1 willpower. Willpower activates abilities faster. Finesse lets you cheat and draw cards faster. So yeah, sure. That was the first ability I tried to have upgraded after doubling the gold, which in retrospect, doubling the gold was not worth it, and I should have put more into guile and luck. Luck has played a major role. And maybe if I had balanced more things out and put some points into insight, that might affect how you get your health and defense up, if it has any effect on that at all, which maybe it doesn't. Okay, well that starts poorly. 3, 2, 1. 1. That's it. Looks like this is just going to be standard loot. 7, 6, 5. Then you take this 4 to unlock that. And then you can't do anything more. 2 can't do, oops. 2 could do that. You have to be more careful. Otherwise I'm gonna mess up here. Special key card here, special card here. So there's obviously a key under these thorns. 9, 0, 1, 0. Change this 0 to maybe a 9. Then get rid of that 0. And yeah, I could use a spare card to get this 5 and this 6, but I don't think it's worth it. There we go. We're kind of going to be in a bad position though, where we have to now focus on this pile and nothing else. So we have no more options. Oops. There was something I could have done there and I missed it. 3, 4, 9, 8. There we go. 9, 8, 9, 8. 3, 4. So yeah. They're making the success path on these deals a lot more linear, which you know where you have to focus, and your chances of success hinder on more narrow paths of options. Because if you couldn't get those cards removed to get to that torch, there's no way you would have won. And to get those cards over here revealed, you had to get the lantern that was over here. 0 1. We seem like we probably have enough cards to pull this off, so 7 6 7 8. Worst case scenario, I just play that. 5 2 9. If anything, this subchapter felt like it kind of just waste of time. Unnecessary middle of the road gameplay. If this challenge survived Culloden, I have every reason to be afraid. If this challenger survived Culloden, I have no idea who Culloden is. Is that a character or is that a prison? They did the same thing with Gal. They really didn't directly point out that Gal was a prison, although it was fairly obvious. I have every reason to be afeared. This is a Highlander, and see, I kind of feel like this is just a in-joke to the Highlander movies and TV series of a race of immortals with swords. Do I want to change anything?
Duel.
No. But I don't know a Culloden in the Highlander series, although in all fairness, I didn't ever really pay a lot of attention to the Highlander series, and it's been many, many years. Should I throw a bomb? Should I use a spare? I think you start with a spare. 7 6 8 7. Best case scenario. Destroy all those cards. Go for a shuffle. We now know the key is there, so we should focus in that direction. 8 9 0 1. That leaves us in a kind of tight spot, but whatever. Then we'll play this. Get rid of that. This guy's health is ridiculously high. See, I don't even want to use that ability there. 4 3. Let's just see. 2. And then when we get back to 3, we can play a joker. Or we can shoot. 9 0. Then we could go 9 8 or 9 0. Either one doesn't really get us any further. I could go joker 2 3 2 3. It's probably the best move. 2 3 2 3. What is his sword? It's a claymore, 30 base damage, and attack bonus is increased by 100% versus 50%. So if I could get this weapon with 30 charge, 3 charge to do 30 base damage, that is kind of an insane advantage. I suspect we probably won't end up with that weapon. 6 7. 16 damage. Okay. Here we go again. Take the spare card. Do we play the spare card at the moment? No, I think you just blow things up. Call it a day. 0, 1, 0. If I clear this one off, can I play this 0? No. Alright. Well, that didn't help me. 6 doesn't do anything for us. 9. Go ahead and shuffle. Let's see. 9, 0, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. 6, 5, 6, 5, and we could play this, and that would just do one more card. I don't think that's worth it. Keep him weak. Drink some potion. Do we play this now? I mean, you can play this to start with, and then do that, and do that. And then do that. And do that. Does that get us any further? Yeah. Let's see. 0, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. And attack. Take that and attack there. That stuns him. That lets us clear the field. We can start all over again. See, 1, 0. Take the spare cards. Although we should probably just use the spare cards also. 9. Play an 8 here, or take the 0. Yeah, I don't think we have anything else we can do. So we'll just end the turn. And I guess we'll have to end the next turn while he's still stunned. Just barely enough to do some damage. We're gonna win here, but this would have had to been done in 19 turns, so we'd have to get somewhat lucky to get the 3 stars. I think we don't have to actually worry about that, particularly if we just end up with 2 stars instead. And of course, if he gets a major combo, he is going to defeat me. And that's definitely going to feel like he won in a scenario where he probably shouldn't have won. Do we want to go 0, 9, I guess? And then you can go 8, and then 7, and then 6. 7, 8, 9, 0. We can't go any further, but that should be enough to win. So now we just need to defeat the boss. Unfortunately, we didn't end up with that sword. So, yeah. And so we've been fighting through people to get the rich turnpike. What do you want, imposter? You've already stolen my horse and my notoriety. Please listen, Mr. Turnpike. Captain Dread is captured and will soon be hanged. The magistrate is to blame and is our common enemy. I know how he has used you. I know about Bess. You could never know. How dare you speak her name? I'll kill you. And that is why you always show them the memento instead of mentioning the name. Although, very high chance they'll get enraged and attack you in a story anyways, because otherwise it's going to be a boring story. This, let's see. Health. Recharge melee weapons faster. Increase melee damage. There we go. We'll probably need this one actually. And see, we're using these items playing on normal, so you're not really going to have them in your back pocket for a hard mode attempt. That being said, I don't know if you really have to do any of the chapters other than the last chapter on hard mode to consider, for the game to consider it having been beaten by you on hard mode. Right, well. Melee damage, or use the starter combo. 19 base damage, piercing, 19 base damage and piercing. He's got an antidote, and he's got food, so he's got basically nothing. So we start with that. Do I want to do this spare card? Or do I want to do this? Let's do this, I guess. Okay, here we go. 8, 9. And can we do anything else? No. I don't think we can. Can we do something now? Yes. Do we want to play a 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6. Shuffle. 7, 8. Can't really do anything more, but we've got like 64 damage, so that immediately knocks him down quite a bit. He may take his health back up though, so maybe that was too much damage. Let's see. 2, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, Again, just massive amount of damage. Wow. Even though he used his health. That was intriguing, to say the least, to see how that played out. Hmm. Feel like drinking that potion that I did actually did nothing for me. Alright, round 2. Can't really play anything at the moment. If I was to change this to a 0, it wouldn't really help me. If I was to change it to a 1, it wouldn't really help me. I could eat health. 50% of my health would probably get me back up to the maximum. Or I can just recharge guns faster. Zero, 9, 8, 7. 6. Nothing more to be done. Do we want to do 33 damage here? Probably. And that was just a straight up deflect. If I do this 4, I could do a 3. Or if I do the 6, I can reveal 2 other things. So 5. 6. Take the spare with us. Stun him. 4, 3 is probably your best bet. Let's see, we are on turn 15. We would need to beat this guy on turn 20 to get 3 stars, although I'm not sure we really need 3 stars. No, we just need to beat the boss. So, yeah, actually don't have to be too concerned about it. Right, 5, 6, and then shuffle. 7, 8, 9, 0. Or we could try and burn cards. Yep, I don't see a way I'd lose here. Hmm. 18 of 20. The only slight concern here would be to just maybe hurry up and try to get it under 19 turns, but again, we already looked and said that wasn't necessary, so yeah, there is no concern. We've got this in the bag. Unless he just manages to stymie me with these cards and then I can't ever attack again. Okay, we're back now in business. We'll take a spare card, then take the 8 or the 6. Probably doesn't matter one way or the other. Play at 9. I could have taken the 6, I guess, and played a 9 and tried to make some more combos. 3, 4. You should be able to win next turn. There we go. We got only 1 star. Congratulations, I suppose. Now that you have beaten me, you're almost as legendary as I am. And then overall, we've gotten like 2,000 gold for playing on normal, which is a decent amount of gold. We must stop fighting and save Captain Dread. Please, I promised to give you this brooch as a token of good faith on my part. But first we must take a stand together. My poor dear Bess, I lost everything. I've become a vain shadow, serving a man I despise. Very well, a truce. We ride out together. Maybe we can tip those scales of justice in our favor for once, outlaw. I believe we can. Some things are worth fighting for. Boy, does she look weird wearing the masquerade mask while having that conversation. Which kind of does make an argument to not cover up your character's face in a game. Or keep it to very minimalistic face coverings like the other masks. This fine fur is usually reserved for judges, royalty, and oligarchs. Are you ready for the final battle, Shadowhand? So 20% chance to deflect fumes, 20% chance to deflect powder, 20% chance to deflect animals. And it still has like a defense of 0, so like we'll take it. It's better than what I had before, but it totally covers up your face also. This is kind of getting silly. Weapons wise, there's just nothing here that you just spend your money on. Clarity. Do I have any clarity? No. Let's see. This one. I already had that one. That one. That one. We'll just buy a little bit of everything to stock up. Just in case maybe something we do triggers a higher stocking thing. And then I just have barely enough to own each of the outfits. But if this is the final battle, which very possibly it is, because if the story's over, there's really no reason to go back into the shop and buy more things. We are very far away from having enough money to buy everything. And adding all these numbers up, it doesn't really feel like there's 10% of what I've earned in the totality of the game. Because I was getting somewhere around 1,000 to 2,000. So let's say like 1,500 per each chapter. There's 21 chapters up until this point. That would have given us, I guess, 2,000 or yeah, I would say 20,000 gold. If I'm doing the math right. So 500 plus 500 is 1,000, another 2 is 2,000. There's 3,000, 4,000. Yeah, maybe 5,000. So maybe you would have had enough gold if you'd played it on normal mode. And you just have to pick and choose playing on very hard mode. And I think at this point getting more jokers and spare cards is proving to be useless, so I think luck is probably better. Going up in luck gives us 1 level. I'm gonna go up 1 in insight doesn't seem like it does anything. It seems like you get just +2 points for everything, for each point you put in and spend. And that has left you on level 21 at exactly 100 health and 50 stealth with no items. I don't think very many outfits here are increasing your stealth at all. Yeah. Yeah, not a single one of these items is actually increasing stealth. And you're never going to get above +1 of the max. You can get to like 11 out of 10. And that's it. And you're never going to be able to get everything up to 10. In a lot of ways, this character sheet is just recontextualizing what Regency Solitaire did, but doing it, frankly, I would say in a slightly worse way. But because it's now splitting all of your items and things amongst mini subcategories, which would make sense if you were playing Diablo or a real RPG that wasn't based around having only 21 chapters and a gameplay mechanic of solitaire. But as it stands, you're not really having that experience. So that is also shown, certainly, if I'm making any sense, I hope I am, in the way these chapters are depicted. That I understand this is supposed to evoke the idea of solitaire, and so you have these special cards, but overall it really feels just out of line with an RPG feeling, and it doesn't really feel in line with a solitaire game concept. Ideally, what you would have wanted to see is you click on chapter 1 and then you could select individual sub-chapters, or there's just straight up 100, which you are getting to about 100 different deals, sub-chapters in totality. In a lot of ways, this just kind of feels like it gets in your way of trying to actually play the game. Yeah. So yeah, that's another episode, another hour and 20 minutes of Shadowhand. Next time we will beat the game on normal, at least. I think it's probably not worth it to spend too much time trying to beat it on hard, very hard mode. We may jump in there and find that there are very few objectives. For instance, if you only have to get like 1,000 gold and defeat the boss, or just defeat the final boss in the final chapter, doing that on very hard might be actually viable. But yeah, if we have to get the maximum number of 3 stars for each subchapter, that's just too much time and effort to put into it. And storyline wise, I suspect this is going to end kind of with a fairly abrupt wrap up and a happy ending, and that'll be about it. This Shadowhand almost feels like what they were planning on doing is eventually having DLC to give you more chapters, but the idea of DLC on a solitaire game, even one that's been modified to have RPG elements, doesn't really appeal. Feels like it would make a lot more sense to just move on to the next game, or have an infinite card generator where the cards randomly fell onto the field. But I imagine the Grey Alien Games can't really afford to do that, because I suspect in their back pocket they're thinking they could make yet another solitaire game in a few years and hope that sold as well as Shadowhand and as well as Regency Solitaire did. But yeah, I feel like I would probably drone on if I went any further, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.